Hey, Miles Beckler here, milesbeckler.com, and this video is about scaling your Facebook ad campaigns. Now, in the last video, if you haven't seen it, we went through some basic funnel math where we looked at the performance of my new funnel and my Facebook advertising campaigns. Now, in this video, we're going to take the next logical step beyond that, which is how do we scale our profitable campaigns, which is another way of saying, how do I go buy more ads, right? Get more clicks, get more opt-ins. And the big key here is keep my KPIs or my key performance indicators within my operational range. Facebook is absolutely notorious for simply doubling the cost per conversion if you just go double the amount you're spending on an ad set. So if your ad set's working and you go in and you're doing $100 a day and you just go set that thing to $200 a day, the odds are that you're not going to get twice as many customers for that. You're actually going to get about the same amount of customers for twice the cost. Now, why this happens is of great debate amongst marketers, and real kind of a little disclaimer, what I'm going to show you is definitely not the only way to scale your campaigns, right? There is a way to kind of turn them up by 10-15% per day in the ad set. I'm not a fan of that method. It doesn't work for me and my brain, so I'm going to just show you exactly what I did. Now, before we jump into my ad account and my ad manager inside of Facebook and look at the actual data of what I've done over the last few days, I want to show you my starting point. And I've got this little notebook here. I wrote out everything I've got, essentially my assets. I drew out my funnel, where I'm going to send people to, etc. The big part for starting was the assets, right? What assets do you have? For me, I have a big fan page that we've been growing for several years. So I've got all the people connected to that fan page. I've got my retargeting pixel audience, right? Everyone who's ever visited my website within the last 6 months who has an active pixel on their tracking pixel on their browser from Facebook, I can target them. Then I have my email lists, and we'll go through this in more detail inside. I've got my customer list, my subscriber list, I've got my membership list, and I've got my unsubscribed list. I uploaded all of those to Facebook. And then I've got lookalike audiences based on those lists. Now, I've covered all of those and what they mean and how to create them in previous videos. But the important part to remember for this video, and you'll see clearly in the data, is that the farther we get away from kind of like that closeness, that intimate relationship, the more expensive our clicks get. So instead of talking about it, let's just jump right in, right? Let's go ahead and take a look. So I'm going to get myself moved down here in the corner, and let me see, where am I? I'm over here. So we're inside of the ads manager, and you can see I started my campaign just a few days ago, about 5 days ago. And as I'm recording this, it's only 11 o'clock in the morning. So today right here, it's 11 in the morning. This is probably going to hit about $700 per day. So you can see that I've gone from 0, 150, 3, 400, 550, and then we'll be about 700 today. And I'm probably going to hover in the $700 to $800 per day range unless I come up with some new ways to scale. So I'm going to jump into the Power Editor to show, because I've got the reporting set up a little cleaner in the Power Editor. So once this loads, we'll be able to look at some data, and you'll notice it's a little messy. I've got oh no, I've got them all checked. Cool. So I've got these checked here, and what we're looking at is really these lower 4. This top one, click to content, I'll explain that at the end. This is not delivering because it's what I'm in the process of setting up, but this is taking my campaign in a little bit new direction. So I wanted to give you an update on what I've done here first. So now you'll notice over here I've got it set to lifetime, right? So I'm looking at the lifetime of these ads, and you can see at the campaign level, this was the first one I set up. It's visitors opt-in. So these are the visitors to my site. I'm retargeting them to my opt-in page. The next one above that was the next one I started. DAP lookalike. Excuse me, this wasn't the next one I started, but this is. So DAP lookalike is a lookalike audience in the US based on my customer list. I uploaded my list of 10,000 plus customers, and I created a lookalike audience in the US. That's this one. Right here, same idea. This is Australia and the United Kingdom. And then this campaign is focused on people who are connected to my fan page, and I'm targeting them. Now, they're all going to the same series of ads, they're all going to the same landing page, and they're all going to the same list. And you can see on a lifetime number, this cost here is my cost per conversion. And from the last video, we know that I'm good up to 81 cents per conversion. So this campaign here, 58 cents each, I'm profitable. This one, I'm losing a little bit of money. I'm losing about 20 cents per subscriber right here. This one's profitable by about 9 cents, and this one's profitable by about 36 cents per subscriber. And you can see I've already brought in about 2,000 subscribers here, maybe 3,000, 32, 3,500 subscribers. Probably going to be close to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the day today. So I'm bringing in about 1,000 subscribers a day right now, and I'm feeling like this was my last campaign here, and I'm feeling like I've kind of hit my limit, right? I haven't been able to figure out how to get that one within my KPIs, so this guy might be disappearing. Now let's go a little deeper. Excuse me. So this is inside of the ad set level, and the first one I want to show you inside of this ad set how it's set up. And this was the first one I ran, right? So the first thing I did, I set up a campaign that is focused on, it's optimized for conversions based on my purchase pixel. My daily budget was $200 out of the box is what I started with. And you can see I've got my potential reach to 350,000 people. And what I've done here is I've got my audience set as visitors to my website, and I'm excluding my customers, my email subscribers, my email unsubscribers, and my members, right? Because I don't need to send somebody who's already a member to my opt-in page. They're a member, they're on a different list. So this was my first campaign, and this is the one you saw me base my numbers on. So this is the closest, most intimate campaign. With this one working at the end of the last video, I was like, great, my funnel is performing with this traffic set. Let's see if I can add on another traffic set. This is scaling. So what did I do? I duplicated this campaign and I created, let's see, I believe I actually created this one second. So this is the DAP lookalike. This is my customer audience. You can see I took my customer audience here that I'm excluding, and I created a lookalike in the US based on it. And then I set to exclude the audience that's in this one, right? So what I've done here is I've duplicated my campaign over and excluded everyone who's already being marketed to in the first campaign because I don't want to bid against myself, right? So now I have this new lookalike audience. I've eliminated people who are already being marketed to here. I've eliminated people who have already taken action here, and I've literally kept the exact same ads. I duplicated the exact same ads. This one, after the first day, proved to be profitable. And I was like, great, what's my next best audience to reach out to? And it's the fan page. We have a fan page we've grown. It's about 915,000 fans. And with only 90,000 people on our list, most people aren't on our list. So what did I do? I set up an ad set here. And you'll see down at the bottom, actually, we've got the connections, people connected to my fan page, people who like my fan page. Again, I duplicated this campaign, and you'll see pretty much specifically I've kept the excluded audiences and the excluded customer lists. So this is now people who are connected with my fan page who have not purchased, who have not been on my email list, who have not unsubscribed from my email list, and who have not ever been to my website. Turns out that that's about 300,000 people. Perfect. Running this one. And then the last one, I duplicated out because all three of those were profitable. You can see on the lifetime numbers, first one, I'm getting 45 cents a conversion. I'm good to 81. Perfect. Second one, 73 cents a conversion. I'm good to 81. Perfect. Third one, even better than the second, right? So I'm excited. I'm just running these. And then I duplicated it out for this last one, and my cost per conversion is up and over. So I'm actually probably going to turn this one off, even though I'm a little negative, but I'd rather just take this money and go into this new kind of campaign that I'm going to be running. So what's the new campaign? Well, I'm going to go ahead and take people who look like my subscribers, who are not yet on my list and who are not yet customers and haven't found my fan page, and I'm going to show them an ad for some of my best, most shared content. And I'm simply going to get them to click on my ad and go to my website to read and consume my content. At that point in time, the pixel will be placed and they'll actually show up in this account here, in this campaign here, because they become a visitor at that point. So my theory is with 45 cents per conversion here, if I can get a 10 to 20 cent click and this number holds, I'm getting 55 to 65 cent opt-ins from a whole new audience who I've never met before, if that works, because this is no longer working. So now I'm like kind of turning down the heat. Let's go one step deeper real quick. I've got all of these, and so this first one with the error, this is the first ad in that traffic campaign I just mentioned. I don't have it set up yet, so it's showing as an error, and we're going to need to give it a quick second for these to load. But you'll notice down at the bottom that I do have a bunch of inactive ads, right? So I've already turned off. You can see these costs per conversions were way out of my metrics, right? 250, 277, and yeah, some of them that happened really quick, and I turned them off really, really quickly. Some of these are really close, actually, you know, 79 cents, 61 cents per conversion. I turned them off. I might turn those back on. I'm not sure. I don't like fiddling with it too much. But here you can see, I'll even switch it to today so we can get kind of up-to-date data. One second while this loads. So you can see today's numbers on all of these active ones. So this is my expensive campaign. I can see at my ad level, I've got the DAP AUGB, which means this is the Australia UK customer. I'm sitting at $1.32 with 68 conversions. I'm done. I don't want to spend that much money on conversions. I'm turning this one off. 76 is good. $1.88 a conversion for that many conversions. I'm turning it off. I don't want to pay that much for subscribers. I like to be profitable, essentially. And then let's see here. I can kind of keep going down. Uncheck here. And so this is the game I play, right? I set up a whole new, I duplicate my campaign, which duplicates my ad set, and then it duplicates all of my ads, and I go through, and when things are out of my metric, I turn them off. You notice this one right here at 88 cents each. There's only one. I'm going to let that one run for a bit, see if it comes within my KPIs. I don't like wasting money that I don't need to because I have so many ad sets that are working really well. And $4.03 conversion, you're off. So there it is. And then I click review changes, and it's going to let me know that I have one error, which I'll turn that off because I know about that. I don't have an ad there. Click continue. And so now I've gone and pruned out essentially the ones that aren't working. So this is how I scale, right? So if this isn't making sense to you yet, let me try to explain it another way to see if I can get it here. So what I do is I create my first campaign based on my best assets. For me, my best assets was my pixeled audience. People who've been to my website and read my content. Those are the kind of closest people who haven't become customers yet, who haven't got on my email list yet. Those are the people I want to target first. So that's where I set up my account, or where I set up my first campaign. Then I run it and I measure my numbers based on the last video, which is linked to below, and I make sure my funnel math is good. If I'm break even or better on that first one, I don't touch it. All I do is I duplicate that campaign and I figure out what is my next most close audience to me that I can target. For me, looking back with hindsight, that should have been and would have been my fan page audience. People who have clicked the like button, they've already taken an action in the direction of liking what I do. Then I literally duplicate the ad campaign, the ad set, and all of my advertisements for this second campaign. I let that run at the same amount. That second one was $200 a day again. So now I'm up to $400 a day that I'm spending, and I'm watching that campaign to see exactly how, to see how that's running, and I monitor that, right? And then what I want to do is, if this is still within my KPIs, I duplicate out to the next most logical audience, right? Based on my assets that I have, which become my lookalike audiences, my lookalike for who looks like my customers, and then who looks like my email subscribers. And then at that point, I'm getting a little thin on my audience, and I want to figure out, okay, how do I reach out to people who don't know who I am and introduce them to my content in a way that I can get them on my retargeting pixel. Another way you can do it is to use the like campaign and to essentially buy likes. And if you're able to buy 2-cent, 5-cent likes to your fan page from people who would like what you do, you can then show your opt-in ad to your fans, and those numbers could work for you. And you want to just keep growing that audience through growing those campaigns little by little, always going back and monitoring your KPIs as you go along, and you keep growing it until you hit these campaigns that simply don't get in your KPIs. Then I turn off everything that's not working, everything that's not within my KPIs, and I let it run and I monitor it every single day, right? And I've got this little spreadsheet. I don't have it up, but so every day I'm pulling out the number of subscribers from my email list, the amount I'm spending on Facebook. I look at the number of OTO sales I have, OTO upsells, and I run all of my metrics across all of my ads, and I make sure that I'm at least break even, if not profitable. As long as that number is good, I've got a little leeway. I can be overspending in some campaigns, I can be profitable in some, and a little cash flow negative in others, but I'm growing my list by 1,000 subscribers a day, 2% conversion rate on my OTO, 50% conversion rate on my one-click upsell, and then I've got the whole lifetime value of my customer, which is over $100 for the average customer. And so I'll make my good money on this down the line in the future, in the coming 1, 2, 3 weeks, months down the line. And that's how I do it. That's how I scale my Facebook ad campaigns. It's kind of a slow and methodical process. If you're feeling like, Miles, I don't have any assets though, right? You've got the web traffic from your organic reach. You've got the fan page you've been growing for years and years and years. I get that. So what are your assets? Your assets are the 30 interests that are highly targeted that you found from the Audience Insights tool. If you haven't gone through my video on how to use the Audience Insights tool, I will definitely include a link to that here in the bottom, in the description of this video, because if you're starting from scratch and you don't really have an audience, go poach your competitors' audiences. That's the trick. You'll pay a little bit more up front, but every single click you're sending to your website, you're planting cookies. You can then retarget them. Every subscriber you get on your list, you're building an audience you can create lookalikes from, and you're able to grow all of these additional audiences as you're testing your funnel, you're testing your kind of ads, right? You're split testing your ad level, you're split testing your opt-in page copy, etc. So that's the game. I hope this has been informative. It was a little heady, a little geeky, but this is really important stuff, because if you just jump into an ad set that's working and say, cool, $200 a day, let's make it $500 a day, you're going to watch your numbers crumble out from underneath you. So fiddle with the ones that are working as little as possible. I don't really go into the ad set level and tweak it at all once it's going. Remove those ads that aren't performing, keep the ads that are, and add on new campaigns and new ad sets as you can to your next closest audiences to grow out your audience, your reach, and effectively to grow your list. All right, that's it for this video. Give me a thumbs up here in YouTube if you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions about how I did this or what I covered here, leave me a comment. I am happy to answer your questions in the comments here. And as always, be sure to subscribe if you have not already so you get the newest videos when they come out. I've got some cool stuff planned. If you already have subscribed, thank you very much. I do appreciate it, and I will see you on the next video.